welcome back to Kim McDonald Studios, where today I think I have a pretty fun project. I've been pretty excited about this for a while. This is an unfinished wooden box that I got from Amazon. Actually, it came in a set of two. This is the 6" by 6", and then I got another set of a little bit smaller. I can't remember what size they are. I think they're 5". But I'm going to start with this one. As I said, it's all unfinished. What I want to do, first of all, because I've worked with one of these before, I do want to say this. If you're going to work with these, they're great boxes, but you're going to want to sand them a little bit first. I like to take a piece of sandpaper and sand, especially in these crevices here, because I'm going to be painting this and the outside and this, and these fit pretty snugly. That's the way they come. They already fit pretty snugly. So what you want to do is go through here and just get that, because you'll see like little splinters and stuff sticking out, and just kind of get that all down, and it'll help so when you do paint, you're not left with going, oh, my top won't fit back on. So that's just a little pro tip for you there on that one. Sandpaper. This is a 400 grit, which isn't too bad, and took care of splinters on the boxes I've done before. So what I want to do with this box to start off with, I've got a pretty cool application for the outside of it, but what I want to do is, I think just so the inside's kind of nice, I'm going to spray paint the inside gold. I'm going to do a Java stain on the outside and on the bottom. And on the top, I'm just going to paint it black because I'm going to be putting resin on top of this with something else. But that's coming up. So I'm going to go do all that and get all taped up, and we'll just jump back in when it's time to resin. How about that? Okay, we're back. I've got everything stained. I even did a couple of coats of spray polyurethane over this to sock in the stain. Got the top spray painted black, and now all I have to do is tape this up, and we're going to put resin right here. Okay, got all the colors ready to go. Let's make sure we're level. Yes, we are. I'm all taped up. This color, I cannot wait to see this color. This one right here. Oops. I always do that. I can never figure out where I'm at. This color, it's my first time getting to use this one. This is Pomegranate. Ooh, I can't always use that. Oh, in fact, let me give you a quick show of all these colors. Okay, so really this is 6" by 6". So in reality, I really would only need an ounce of resin to cover this. But since we're using colors, I'm going to go more. In each of these cups is probably, like this is a little over an ounce here, but everything else is a lot less. So this is kind of my major color here. And this is that color shift. So I'm going to put some of that in first. That's kind of a lot. But again, I want it to be my main color, so. Okay. A little bit of white in here. There's a fly in here, and he's about to die. I'll do this first. Pomegranate. And gold. Oops, well, that's not going to matter. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of this right back in here too. Just a little. And I think a tad of the white. There we go. One thing I want to do too, because I've learned when it comes to dirty pores in resin, is I'm just going to put a chop right through the middle of this. Just like that. Just to kind of introduce all colors to each other, even if in a tiny way. Then we're just going to with what's left in the cup, if I can, let's get a little bit in these corners just to help me out. There's some pretty stuff happening there. There's my skewer. Okay, I think things are looking pretty good. Now for the best part. This guy. Sticking a little clear glue or clear resin on the top part of the bottom of the drawer pull here. I was going to dip it before I put it in and I totally forgot. Okay, I think we're good with this, so we just need to let it sit overnight, and then we'll come back and unmask it. I'm going to torch it one more time. Okay. Get a look at everything. Yeah, not too bad. And we're all cured now, so let's get the tape off here and see how much sanding I need to do. edge here, but not too bad. All right, I'm gonna go sand this and get it ready for its little top coat. Okay, so this whole time I thought the camera was on, but it's not. So I will tell you what I just did to catch you up. I used a brush, basically got my main body of resin on the top of this, and then poured some extra on. Got the paintbrush up around the drawer pull here to make sure it's all good and covered. And now I'm using a putty knife to dome the resin, which means to push it right up to the edge and then pull back. And what that should do is push the resin right up to the crisp edge, and it won't go any further. It'll just dome right there. At least that's the plan. So far, we're doing all right. And this is a high viscosity resin, so it's a little thick, and that actually helps. Okay, now I'm going to do an extra close look at the entire edge and corners. Get it under the light so I can make sure that there's no little blips. Make sure there's no runs down the side. Oh, we're looking really good here. Oh, goody. There's a little catch on the side there. It's very minuscule, but it's a really small area that's not coming clear to the edge, so. Better. Everything else is domed to the edge perfectly. So this is going to be our last overnight sit for this piece, and it'll be done. Probably come back and check on it in about 15 minutes or so, make sure there's no more bubbles in it. I'm using a Pro Marine resin today because I have a whole bunch of it that I need to get rid of. So this pomegranate is really cool because, I mean, while right here it's coming across as red, when you get close, you'll see little flecks of pink. It's actually pretty cool. All right. See you tomorrow. And here we are, all cured and beautiful. Look at that. I'm kind of in love with this project. My little treasure box. Oh, and surprise! Yeah, there's a surprise to this. Want to know more? Okay. Okay, so the secret is out. But here's the deal. I wanted to do a nice reveal on the inside, but what I want to tell you, there's one twist. You need to do the inside first. Because once you get that Dragonfly knob on the top, it's really hard to get this piece to be level, and you're going to be putting resin in here. So this is actually part A to the whole thing. So one thing I did is I went on Amazon looking for like crushed glass or something that I could put into projects like this, and I did find, you know, the fire pit glass that they have, and it comes in like 10-pound big, yeah. So I found one of those at a good price, but what I did was I bought one that had 3 different colors in it. So I got that color. I've kind of separated some out. This color and this color. And they will all have their uses, but today we are going to be using this color, as you saw. Another thing that I did that I want to show you, and it's kind of important, is, and what's really cool about this glass is that when you lay it down in here, it's almost exactly the right height to come out on this lip right here. So it's like exactly this height, which makes it nice because it won't block your lid from going on, because this is the inside of the lid. But I did notice also when I was checking out some pieces that some pieces are slightly bigger, slightly smaller, not a lot, but enough that it might trip you up. So it might even trip me up. So what I did was I cut off some stir sticks and put them in here as kind of a buffer to keep them off the edge just a little bit. And it doesn't matter that these aren't in good, because I'm going to be taking them out before I put the resin in. This is just to keep the glass from completely going to the edge, so that later when the resin goes in there and it all cures, you can turn it over and actually it'll fit back on the box. So there you go, stir sticks. So let's get started. This part I'm going to have to fast forward because there's a lot to it. It's this part. So I'm going to be doing this, trying to get pieces to fit. Oh, also I want to tell you, they don't have to fit perfectly. Just close is good enough, because you're not going to know. All right, trust me. On another thing is always check your pieces of glass, because there's a shiny side and a see-through side. You want the see-through side up. Okay, this is where we want to check for fit, because I want that coaster to be able to fit in there. What this is, it's like a resin coaster that I did years ago actually. And the funny thing is I tried both sides and I like this side a lot better. So I want to make sure it fits in the center. If it doesn't, we got to move some stuff, and it's not moving. So this. This is a little close, it's bugging me. It's this piece here. He's too big. Okay, that looks about right to me. So what I need to do now, funny enough, weirdly enough, let me bring this down a little bit, there, is that I want to glue this piece in. Only because I'm going to put a little tiny bit of resin in here just to anchor everything, but I don't want this slip sliding moving around when I walk away. The odds of it happening are very low, but when I'm putting this much energy into a project, I want it to go a little more smoothly. So I'm going to put a little dollop of Gorilla Glue under this. But when I do, I'm going to check my Dragonfly and see how it all lines up. And the reason I'm doing Gorilla Glue is because I have wood glue, and that's wood, but this is a non-porous surface, and that's really what this Gorilla Glue is for. So all I really want is something to hold this down for when I pour the resin in it so it doesn't float away. So it's not that big a deal of what kind of glue you use. Alright, not worried about any of this out here. We're just doing this part. You want to make it as center as possible. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just eyeball it. Okay, now the bling. This is a brooch. I got a pack of them on Amazon. He's gonna go right there. So I want to make sure this is all the way I want it. Okay, so we'll take this back off. We're gonna let this sit for, it says 2 hours, but it cures completely in 24 hours. I don't need it to cure completely before I put the resin in here. So I'm just gonna let this sit for about an hour, and then we'll be back. Okay, we're in good shape. It's been about an hour. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm not gonna put a lot of resin down in here, just enough to grab everything and solidify so that I can go for another layer tomorrow. This is gonna be probably an ounce, maybe a little over an ounce, not too much here. But, oh, I almost forgot the most important part. These little barriers. I wanna go in here. You can do this with your finger too, but I'm just tapping all of these again in case for some reason if I walked by or touched this, if they bounced away from the edge, if they're a little loose, I just want to kind of tack them back against the wall as much as I can. They're all going to be a little loose, but I just don't want them out there on their own, not attached to the rest. You get what I'm saying. For where I want it to be. Now we got to get these guys out. And I wish I didn't have my gloves on because the genius idea I came up with to get them out, we'll see if it is a genius idea or not, is tape. Try getting masking tape off the roll when you've got gloves on. I didn't think this through. So what I want to do, if this works the way I want it to, is just to grab this and lift it out. Yay. I'm going to save those because I have more of these boxes. Oops, those shifted just a little bit. Oh, I shifted that one too. Dang it. Okay, well, let's just see what I can do with my handy little skewer, because again, this does not have to be perfect. Okay, I think I'm cool with that. Oh, there we go. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Just no reason whatsoever. This is just clear. I haven't colored it or anything, because there's going to be a layer that's going to go on top of this. And I'm not putting any on top of the coaster at this time. And I'm trying not to get any on top of the glass like it's going to matter, but it's not going to matter. Because really when this is done, the resin level will not be higher than the glass. Is kind of why I'm trying to stay away from the glass. I just want to make sure I get it in all of the crevices, and it's harder than it looks. I'm not worried about the areas behind the glass against the wall of the lid, because this is going to creep back there if it does its job the right way. I should be seeing some bubbles though. Wouldn't matter what kind of resin I was using today, because there's a lot of space underneath this. That, remember that little blob of glue? There's a bunch of space under here, so as the resin goes under there, I'm expecting to see some bubbles popping up. And that's why the level of resin's going down right in front of me, so that's good. It's doing what I want it to. It's starting to get into all those crevices. Oh, and really importantly too, and I didn't show this on camera, but I checked this for level prior to doing anything. Just to make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. I don't want to go up to the lip, because remember I'm putting more stuff down in those cracks. Whew! Alright, that layer's done, except I need to torch it real quick for, let me get rid of this resin that I have left first. Okay, now all this has to do is sit and cure, but we have another part of the box to deal with right now. All right, so we're into the inside of the box. I'm actually I want something sparkly, so when you open it, you've got something at the bottom and the top. So I was looking at some of them. I got a bunch of different glitters and chunky glitters. And let's see here, this set, which I might use for, I think, the top part of the lid, because I like this. It matches the glass really well. But what's neat about these is I was looking for something like this forever. Hear that? Yeah. I wanted something was heavy, like glass or gravel, but really, really small and metallic. I finally found it. This is like this, I don't know what it is. They say it's like crushed glass, but it's not sharp at all. It is heavy and will sink in resin for like when you do the flowers. That's what I got these for. I'll link it below. Okay, so I have this set of chunky glitters, and this was one of them in there that looked really close to kind of the feel and look I wanted to get, and it matches our theme in the lid pretty much too, I think. So I'm going to be putting this in some resin, pouring it in here. I've got about, I don't know, I mixed up 4 ounces, not knowing how much resin I was going to use, especially in the top, which I could probably put more in there and it would be fine, but I'm good. So I've probably got about, yeah, I would say close to just under 3 ounces left. I don't want to pour it all in there, but we'll see what happens. I don't want to waste the glitter. Bottoms up. Was it too much resin? Absolutely. But I'm going for it on this one. Kind of want an opalish look. Well, now that it's on this lid, I'm thinking it's uneven. That's why it's running that way. Find out if it runs this way now. You don't want to tip it too much because you don't want it to go up on the walls, but in this case, I don't mind if it has a little bit of a, you know what I'm saying here. All right. So it doesn't look like much now, but it's going to look a lot better when it cures. So let me get some bubbles out of this. Kind of digging that. See how it matches our top? Kinda. Okay, so really the only thing that matches is the green. But I wanted sparkles, so that's what we're gonna get. Alright, back in the morning when we get to see it all cured. Now that this is all cured, we just need to add the fill. I've got this little cutie. I've got this bag. I've already actually taken a bunch out and kind of organized them, but all of these, I can't remember what I paid. It was really cheap, and I'm so glad I got them because I have these little charms to throw into stuff now. I'll list it. So this guy's going to make his way into this little vignette as well, but today it's all about the fill. So I've got my resin mixed up, and that's where these guys come back into play. I'm not going to mix them into the resin. I'm just going to pour them into the crevices. This should be interesting. I guess it is glass chips. planning on doing this time around, but I'm actually fine with it. Here we are next day. Everything's all cured. And it's looking pretty good, actually. What do you think? And the inside, I changed up my glitter a little bit because I had originally done that. Where's it at? This glitter. And I didn't put enough in it, so it was so dispersed, it looked a little bit like vomit, and so I threw some of this in. Ice resin opals. This is the fire opal. This one. So I threw some of that in there and got more of a blingy interior like I wanted. I cannot wait to show you this in the sun, so let's do that. And here we are finally with an outside look. Look at all that bling. And for a better, sparklier look at the inside, I even did yeah, I'm happy with this project. We're going to call this one the Dragonfly Treasure Box. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again this week. I'll have another fun one next week, so hang out. If you like this video and you'd like to see more like this, it helps me out by knowing if you hit a like on the video, then I know. And I do have some more boxes, so if you really would like to see another video like this, just shoot me a like and I'll make you another one.